Come in, come in, come in. Come on in, sisters. Come on in, sisters. Come in, come in, come in. Let's get some healing. Let's get some healing today. Let's be excited. We're getting ready to get started. Get excited. Get excited. Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, I'm excited. I'm excited. Hello. Hi, Marissa. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Please, as you come in, just tell me where you're from, what city, what town, what state, what country. That's all good. I'm here for everything. I just want to say thank you again. It's an exciting Monday afternoon to have Sisters Talk. I do have a special guest today, but before we even get into that, what I will be doing is I'm going to read our scripture that I will read every single day, which is going to every single Monday, which is going to be 2 Timothy 4:16. And it's going to say, at my first defense, no one came to my support, but everyone deserted me. May it not be held against them. So much, so long, we have been in a position where we just thought that, we always need somebody to defend us because we're always trying to defend everybody else. And what happens so much as women, we definitely forget that we need support too. We cannot do things alone. So it is time and it is the season for us to definitely be looking to see where we can get our help from, which is going to be from us, other women, other sisters, so that we can all be together as one. So also we have to understand that just because they deserted you, that does not mean for you to go up against them. That does not mean for you to be angry at them. What you need to do is just say, you know what? God, don't hold it against them, because I too have been in that place before. I too understand exactly what's taken place. So what I want us to do is to always be mindful that things will happen in our lives. And as those things do happen in our lives, I want us to begin to understand that just because those things do happen in our lives does not stop what God has for us to do. So we always have to do things according to the way that God told us to do it. So on this evening, on this very, very, very good evening, I do have one of my special friends. Her name is Prophetess Evelyn Stanley, and I will be bringing her up on the screen so that you will be able to see her as well. I just want you to understand that in that process, when we are getting ready to bring her up, if you have any questions, if there's anything that you need to know or you want to ask her directly, all you have to do is just start to raise your hand or simply put your question in the screen. And once you put your question in the screen, what will happen is I will see your question. Once I see your question, sorry about that. Once I see your question, what I will do is I will go ahead, and if you would like to, I will also bring you on the screen as well. So if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit of who she is really quickly. So bear with me for one moment while I do that. Sorry about that. All right. Let me cancel this down. Sorry, but I'm having a little technical difficulties right now. I do apologize. Give me 1 second here to see why I am struggling. How you doing? I do apologize about that. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulty. Give me a couple of moments. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second here. Let's see what is happening. I think I might got it. I'm sorry for the silence. I'm so sorry. All right. I think we are all ready. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share just a little bit of this video that I want you to see, because tonight our title is, what does a safe place look like? So what does your safe place look like? And I will bring forth Prophetess Evelyn Stanley. So she is going to be our guest speaker on this evening. So I will go ahead and I will go and start this share so that you all can watch this video with me as well, okay? This right here is not good for me. Lord, help me today. This is too much. I am so sorry about these technical difficulties. I just don't understand what's happening right now. Pray for me now, y'all. Pray for me that these airwaves get all right, because this is not good for me. All right. Well, welcome back. I do apologize if there's technical difficulties. I am so sorry about that. But woo, I'm still here. Look, we still here. We still moving and shaking. So listen, I just wanted to say that we often don't understand what a safe place looks like. We don't realize that we have the capabilities of being in a safe place, and that it's okay for us to be in a safe place. And even though what it looks like is not what we expect it to be, we have to define what a safe place looks like for us. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow Prophetess to be able to speak upon that. So, Prophetess, just really quick, can you just give us a little background about who you are a little bit, please?
All right. So my name is Evelyn Stanley. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. I am. There's so much I could say, but God has definitely has had me working with a lot of broken people, a lot of people who have been rejected by the church, a lot of people who have been rejected by their families, a lot of people who just live rejected lives. So God has been dealing with me mainly about the ministry, and I really truly believe that safe being a safe place is a ministry. And I believe that we all should be in the ministry of safe places. So when you gave me the topic, it was just so fitting because I believe that we are taught everything in the church. We're taught how to, dress. We're taught what to do, how like the etiquette. But we're taught how to be an evangelist. We're taught how to be a prophet. We're taught how to be a pastor. Anything. We're taught those things, but we're never really taught how to be safe places, not only for others but for ourselves. So I think this conversation is going to be a great conversation that needs to be had because there's so much benefits from safe places, but we'll get into that a little later.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for that background on yourself. And I just want to say welcome to everybody that I don't see in the live stream. If you can, or if you don't mind, go ahead and just type in where you're from. I see we have Austin, Texas. So thank you so much, Marissa from Austin, Texas, for
Hey,
being
Marissa.
on. And I just wanted to say three-dimensional coaching and consulting. Thank you very much for getting on. If you don't mind, just share your information in the comment section. And again, if you have any questions, if you need to say anything, please do not hesitate to answer, to ask a question, because I'm definitely more than happy to bring you on the screen. So, Prophetess, when it comes to what a safe place looks like, I think as women, we really don't understand that. And we get into a place where we feel like other people should know what we've been through and how to create a safe place. So, with that being said, how do you feel about that? And what do you think the safe place looks like?
I feel like for a lot of people where we don't okay, so we grow up a lot in a lot of communities in dysfunction. We grow up with dysfunctional families, absent parents. We grow up with a lot of things that happen in our life that cause us to be unsafe. And by unsafe, I feel like we can't really trust. We don't know how to love. We don't know about boundaries. We don't know those things because it's not really taught to us. So we carry these tools that we think they're helping us, but they're really not helping us. They're actually keeping us guarded. They're keeping us broken. They're keeping us there. So I feel like this is something we have to learn. It's not something that you are just handed. It's literally something you have to teach yourself. It's literally something that you have to literally search out. It's not because we would think that safe places is something that you could just be. But unfortunately, it's not. It's something that you literally have to learn how to become. It's built. And how is it built? It's built through learning how to first love yourself. It's learning how to be a safe place to other people. It's learning what are my boundaries, what makes me feel uncomfortable, what makes me feel like I'm not safe in the midst of a conversation. All those things matter. So I feel like as women too, we're so used to being strong and we're so used to walking around so guarded that when it's time to take our armor off, we either do too much or we don't do enough. And it's like, okay, so we're not fully utilizing our safe places because we're so guarded. We're so scared to be vulnerable. We're so scared to let our walls down. And then if it could be the reverse, that you're letting every person you meet, you're just letting everything out without trusting them. I mean, without knowing them. You're just overly affectionate, overly giving because you don't know that's like how to be safe. So I feel like as women, we need to learn how to not only be safe, uh, to go to somebody safe, but how to be safe to somebody else, you know, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
It does, absolutely. Absolutely. Westchester, stand up all day, every day. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, you know what I'm saying? Because we from Westchester, people be trying to hate on us, but we always, that's just who we are. But nonetheless, thank you very much for coming, Westchester. But absolutely, absolutely. So I think that what you said was extremely imperative. Do you care to elaborate on when you felt like you needed a safe place and there was nobody there? When was your most vulnerable moment in your life? That pivotal turn that pushed you into God to find Him.
All right, so I remember being just so broken, so like just broken. And I when I was younger, I established this thing with men because of, I'm just gonna be honest, my father being absent, because of me not having a healthy male role model or who knowing how to love. And my first boyfriend was a mess, and he really hurt me. So I said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat them bad before they could treat me bad. I'm going to be real standoffish before they could do me dirty. So what I started to do is I built a wall up against men. I didn't respect them. I didn't really want to hear what they had to say, because I never wanted them, anybody, not just men, but anybody, only my close family, like my mother and those who I held really close. But everybody else, I'm like, if I don't want you to ever think that you could get so close to me that you could hurt me. So everybody became disposable to me. Everybody. I don't care who you was. I was able to just cut it off. Like I don't care how deeply involved. I'm the cutoff queen. Like I could be your best friend today, and then tomorrow I'm just like, hey, it is what it is, And so at some point, I realized like this is not love. Like this is not love. And I had people who were giving me genuine, real love, but because of my brokenness, because of what I didn't know, I would just, as soon as they made a mistake, it didn't have to be a big mistake, but as soon as they made me feel unsafe, I would just cut them off. Like, nah, you made me feel unsafe. I'm straight. So then, I'm even with my husband. I'm married. I've been married 13, 12 years. We've been married. We have a beautiful 10-year-old daughter, but I realized that not only was it affecting me, but it was affecting my husband. It was affecting my mothering because I didn't know how to attach to people and make meaningful, long-lasting relationships. So I'm like, then one day I was going through something, and then God got me in by myself. I was by myself. I felt like I had nobody. And then what happened was God began to deal with me about me. He said, "You're angry, you're bitter, and you need to let go." So I was like, okay, now what do I do with this angry, and how do I take this out? And God would just, you know what? I was doing really messed up things to people. I'm really just acting really like mean and aggressive to people. And then I thought I did something, and I thought God was really going to be upset with me. But when God got me by myself, He just began to love on me and tell me that He loved me. He began to tell me that I was worth it. He began to tell me that, you're beautiful. And it was like I expected Him to be mean to me, but what He did was create a safe place for me. And even with our relationship with God, He's a safe place. So I didn't know Him as a safe place until this moment. And when I learned Him as a safe place, I was able to be vulnerable and say, God, this is how I really feel. I've been lying to you, God. I've been saying that I want to get rid of this sin, but I really don't. I've been saying that I want to live holy, but real talk, I don't, because I really like sin. And I'm just being honest. And I
Tell
just
us
was like,
so.
God, I'm going to be honest with you because I was safe. I knew that He wasn't going to judge me because He knew the condition of my heart. He knew it wasn't coming from a bad heart. It was coming from a broken heart. So I was able to what I call undress, because I feel like intimacy is like when you're able to just undress before the person you love, because I feel like we treat God like almost like that person that we're not sure of, like, when you're young and you just met this dude or whatever, not just met, or you're dealing with a dude, and you want to keep the lights off because you're not ready to expose yourself to him fully. So when you guys are intimate, you turn the light off. So that's not really intimacy because He's not getting to see all of you. So with God, we treat Him the same way. When we go into His presence, we really turn the light off
Well, I'm
because we
definitely.
say, go ahead, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
No, that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So what
So
I
we
was
we
saying
tend to
was that we must have a little bit of feedback. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, I'm
Okay.
frozen.
Is it?
Okay, I'm good now. I'm not frozen anymore.
I want you to unfreeze. But the reality of it is this: we are often as women battered, right? We are beaten, we are abused, we are raped, we are molested. Not saying that nobody else is, but we are as women, and we define ourselves as powerful and strong. Our strength comes from within. We don't know what we did on that last breath when he was about to kill us. How did we get away? What transitioned our mindset to develop the escape route? Right? So when I was showing those videos, I wanted you to understand that in those videos, what tends to happen is we get to the final place, and sometimes we get out, and sometimes it's too late. And because of that, if we look at it, it's because we never defined what a safe place looked like for us.
Right, right.
Like, I'm running around here like, yeah, I'm big, tough, and I'm bad, and I'm
But you
screaming
wasn't
at all
safe.
these. Right. You want to fight, you can fight everybody. Yeah, I'll punch her in her face. But baby, back at home, he's beating you. Back at home, somebody's raping you. And you're so angry that you're so willing to take it out on another sister that's been where you're at. You just don't know it yet because you have not developed the option to say to yourself, I want a safe place.
Right.
And
But most people don't even know what a safe place is at all. They don't even understand what a safe place looks like. So most people think they're in safe place. They're in a safe place. They're in a safe relationship, even in the midst of abuse. That's why safe places doesn't start with what you seek out. It's not. Safe place first starts internally. It starts with your relationship with God. Once you feel safe with the Father, once you feel safe with the relationship with Him, and you're able to heal from all that toxicity, because a lot of times we don't realize we connect with people based on our hurt, based on our stories connect, based on our similar dysfunction. Because if you ever heard ask somebody young, why do you love this man? Why do you love this woman? They'd be like, because he gets me, because she understands me, she knows me. Like, that's, that's not a good thing. Pain is not a good thing to connect with somebody else, because you get stuck there, and that's only going to be the thing that's going to keep you together, is that pain. So until I don't, when you're in a broken place, it's never good to start new relationships, because you're gonna find a broken person, and y'all gonna relate on a broken level, and everything you birth is going to be broken, right? So until you understand that, I have to go see God first to heal me, because I first have to be a safe place for me. Like, we are not safe places for ourselves. The choices we make, the danger we put ourselves in, being reckless with our bodies, because we're not safe with it. We don't respect ourselves first.
we don't respect ourselves first. You're 100% right. And you know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it like this. This is what we're going to do here. You ready? Let me go ahead and tell you what the truth. I'm going to shame the devil real quick.
Go ahead and do it.
You understand? I didn't know what a safe place was. I've been beat. 100%. We not even gonna act like I haven't. People see me and they be like, "There's no way Shorty was getting beat." Let me tell you something. He had me locked in the closet. He put a basket in front of the door, and he said, "You can't leave here." I'm screaming and I'm yelling, trying to get out. And then he was like, "Run." He took my clothes and everything. He like, "Run." I'm like, "Run? Wait, run where? Where am I gonna run to naked? To my sister's house down the street. That's what I had to do to get away." But guess what he did? He came back. He said, "I got money for you. I can buy you this. You want this." But when you don't understand that you are supposed to be healthy, when you don't understand that you have the right to be free from abuse, when you don't understand that, you go back. Because I went back. Because I wanted those nice things. I wanted him to still do for me. But why? It's because something on the inside of me was broken. And there was nobody saying, "Come here, let me talk to you." There was nobody
Right.
saying, "Let me show you what it looks like to be in healthy relationships." So here
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to develop safe places. Sometimes our safe places, we don't even realize we have them because we're so busy trying to fight them away because they in our business. But those is what we are supposed to be gravitating to, our safe places. It's not
Right.
okay. Yeah.
I just said I'm agreeing with you, right? And I feel like even with that, a lot of times we're not even in love with the person. We're in love with what the feeling they make us feel. So if you're not used to attention, and a man comes and gives you a whole bunch of attention, and even though he's giving you toxic too, you're gonna accept the attention with the toxic because he's giving you a feeling that you normally don't get, that something that you normally nobody's ever given you. Because most women, and I'm just gonna be honest, a lot of women suffer from rejection, from being rejected by a mother or father, being rejected from a past lover or a past relationship, being rejected by friends, just being rejected. And once you're rejected, that thing manifests so many different ways. So I feel like in order to understand safe places, we first have to heal from what broke us.
Come
You
on
can't.
here.
You're never going to be able to fully understand a safe place until you learn to identify what made me so toxic, what made me run to toxic people, what made me think that somebody beating on me was okay, what made me think that somebody verbally abusing me and talking down to me was okay, because something inside of me must be dysfunctional. Even accept that. We acknowledge the person who hurt me was dysfunctional. I acknowledge that. But what inside of me thought it was okay to be talked down to and called out of my name, to be verbally and sexually abused, and still run back to that person? What inside of me? And then it goes the reverse with women who have been raped and molested. What is so then we tend to blame ourselves for something that we didn't even do. We didn't even, it wasn't that we did it to ourselves. Somebody did it to us. And then we take that pain and we internalize it and we make it like, oh, we deserved it. I must have deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have to go back and uproot and dig that out. Dig all that pain out, because a lot of times in order to go forward, and you want to go forward into a safe place, you want to build into it. But in order to do that, you have to go back to what broke you. You have to go back.
Absolutely.
You got to go back in time. We're gonna take this back, way back in time, right? Hey, but we're gonna take it back, and that's what God. When you get a real relationship with God and you really fall in love with Him, the first thing He's going to do is go back. He's gonna say, okay, now that we're in love and you love me and you're willing to live for me, let me deal with that molestation. Let me deal with that abuse. Let me deal with that rejection. Let me deal with that abandonment. Because your first safe place should always be in the presence of the Lord. If you're looking for a safe place, but you haven't found yourself in the presence of the Lord, I'm telling you, it's not gonna work. It might work for a matter of time, but you're never going to take fully advantage of a safe place until you first identified your place before the Father.
I truly do believe that. I feel like I'm a I am. Most of us are. We're living testimonies. I mean, a safe place can be anything for anyone. It can be from child molestation. It can be from adult abuse. It could be from adult sexual content. It could be from so much, but it can also just be from me, not knowing how to feel good about me. Like, I've been talked to so bad all my life. Like, where's the safe place for me, ugly? Where's the safe place for me, Porky? Like, we don't even know how to find that place. So give us some pointers if you got some. Tell us, like, where's the door? Is there a clinic? I mean, we don't always want to go to the clinic. Like, as soon as you go to a clinic, somebody like, oh, she's bugged out. No, I ran down on him because I remember all them times he was beating me, and I got PTSD. So I happened to see him at the market, and he was ordering some food, and I ran up in there and just started beating up on him. Now you crazy. Now you want to give me medication. No, it's called a flashback. That's I
But
had a
that goes
flashback.
back. We gotta heal. We gotta heal, because let me tell you something. If you're used to unhealthy, unhealthy will become a safe place for you. Toxicity, being ratchet. If you're used to turning up, that'll become a safe place to you. And then it's an unhealthy safe place. So we have to learn how to even
It seemed like
like
she
I
got.
said, learning how to deal with safe places is literally relearning something that we've. I'm frozen. Can you see me? Internet connection's
I
acting.
can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I could hear you
All right.
before.
So can you still hear me?
Now,
You can hear me now.
yes,
I'm sorry. So I'm gonna just keep talking and let this catch up.
that's a
All right.
fact.
So if you're not healthy, if you don't understand healthiness, you'll mistake toxic for healthy, because what's comfortable. If you've been getting abused all your life, it'll become a safety net, and you won't feel like anybody loves you until they put their hands on you, because you're like, that's all I know, and he beats me because he loves me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know healthy, toxic will be your norm. Toxic will be so. Then you'll not only will you adapt to toxic behaviors, but you'll display toxic behaviors. You'll become toxic to other people, and then you'll be mad like, why don't they want to accept what I'm giving them? Because you're toxic and you're not healthy. And that's why it's important. We have to do inner healing.
Let me
Inner
tell you
healing is
something.
key.
Yeah, let me tell you why I'm laughing because all my life I'll be like, I just can't understand why people won't do what I do. Like, if you know that I'm willing to give you everything that I got, it don't matter in friendships, family ships. If I did it for you and somebody that you know came to you in the same situation that you in, why wouldn't you just help them after somebody just did it to you? And somebody once told me, Ovana, you can't think that because you've done it, everybody else is going to do it. That's not you. They're not you. And I think that right now, what I want everybody to understand at this very moment, what is imperative is what are you willing to do to scratch all the way in? Are you so desperate for you to find that safe place? I want you to understand that you are not at fault. I want you to understand that it happens. And I want you to understand that you can reach out. And I want you to understand that women have a difficult place in life because we have so much to do. We have to be up here while everybody else is below us. Men, not all the way below us, but I'm just saying because we carrying them on our backs too. It's
Mm.
okay. You know, everyone is not your friend, and it's okay for you to call someone that you do not know. Make connections outside of the hood. Make connections outside of the suburbs. Make connections outside of your state, outside of your country. Make connections outside of you so that you can find people who can define a new thing. And I think that that's what we're scared of. And if you could just comment and let me know, like, is that something that you're scared of? Is reaching out to someone that you don't know scary for you because you feel like they're going to tell your business even though they don't know you? Or is it that because people you did know told your business that put you in that place?
I agree. God said to me recently, and it blew my mind. He said, as long as you stay with the people you're comfortable with, you will stay with the people you're comfortable with. And I thought that was crazy because what if the people I'm comfortable with are not my safe place? So you're gonna have to. I found safe places out of my state, out of my country. I had to find places, other places, because the places I was literally, I felt like, and let's say, and I'm gonna use undressing, but not in a sexual way. But undressing means being completely transparent, not wearing the mask. Because most of us, let's get there. Most of us wear masks. We wear masks that we got it together. I'm okay, I got this. And you got to sometimes look in the mirror and say, okay, I got this. But you know, deep down inside, you're breaking apart. Deep down inside, you're scared. Deep down inside, you're tired. Deep down inside, you're broken. Deep down inside. But because you don't have the ability to fall apart because those kids need to eat. The kids got to
Right.
go to school. You know what I'm saying? These bills got to get paid. And this goes not only for, like, this goes for single mothers, married women. You don't have the luxury of falling apart. We don't have the luxury of just laying down and saying, okay, I'm not dealing with anything. Because if you don't cook, the kids don't eat. If you don't work, the bills don't get paid. And that goes for all of us. So you don't have the luxury of just being open and saying, okay, today I just don't got it. So what happens is we start to build these layers and layers and layers of stuff to cover what's actually going on inside of it and deep down inside of us. And then we get comfortable just hiding it. So what a safe place does, it causes you to undress. And I love the word undress because what it says is I'm taking off everything and allow you to see me in my rawness. I'm taking off everything and allowing you to see my brokenness. I'm taking off everything and allowing you to see that I don't have it all together. That right now I'm holding on by a thread. Right now that I feel like I'm about to lose my mind, but I haven't said anything. And then for those who are influential, you hold a role in your job. You hold a role in your community. You hold a role that people say you're so strong. So you don't have the luxury to be weak because you have an image to uphold. So then what a safe place is when I'm done, putting on a show, and I'm not saying putting on a show that you're fake. When I'm done being who everybody else wants me to be, I should be able to go into my safe place and literally undress all that stuff. Now I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the wig off. I'm taking the
Right.
earrings off. I'm taking it all off. Steal it right back. I'm taking it all off because I want you to see who I really am, because you could help me, because I'm broken. I need somebody to tell somebody I'm broken. I need somebody who knows how to pray for not what they see, but who I really am.
So I'm just going to read some quick comments because I love this part. So I know Lisa Rodnauer, she's on Facebook and she was like, yes, speak.
Mm-hmm.
So stand up Westchester because we out here, you hear me? All day. And then Miss Jordan, she was like, make connections. She said, make connections. Agree with this statement. She said, step outside of your comfort zone. And then sarcastic poet, we do thank you for your returner. It says, in general, people should learn to practice being with themselves in order to learn who they are outside of their connections. Now, now, talk about this right here, because this right here is stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do we even begin to learn how to be with ourselves? Like, you have to literally be able to, she said, practice that. That means that's not something that you do like for 1 second.
You have
Like,
to you literally have to tell yourself to do it. It's not something that comes natural. You got to be like, Evelyn, don't pick up the phone. Evelyn, don't reach out right now. Spend time upon within yourself, but praying. Spend time just with you. Spend time loving on you. Because where we mess up is we don't spend time talking. And I know it sounds crazy talking to yourself, but we don't. Even David said he had to encourage himself in the Lord. So we have to learn how to encourage ourselves in the Lord first. We go looking for encouragement from people, go looking for encouragement from things, but God wants us to learn how to encourage ourselves in Him.
amen. And just to add to that, we have to, the fact that we're practicing being with ourselves, right? But the next part was
I want to bring
also,
sarcastic poet, because sarcastic poet got these comments.
I'm saying, so. I mean, you can ask her would she like to come on the screen. I mean, that would be up to her. She can comment below. It sounds like Prophetess Evelyn would like you to come on the screen. So if you would like to, sarcastic poet, yay or nay, let us know. But I just wanted to say that, look, when you go into the second part of her comment, it says this: after you practice being with yourself, now you have to learn who you are outside of their connections. So now I got to not only practice who I am, now I'm relearning who I am outside of the connections that I currently have. So we are rebirthing, we are literally rebirthing ourselves to learn how to be with ourselves and okay with not having the same connections, but we're also learning who we are, and it's okay to be loved and be super dope because I am who I am. So what, right? But you have to learn all of that. That's what's so crazy. We have to learn that, and that's why that makes that comment so dope. And then we have another returnee.
Wait, can I just say something about that comment too?
Okay. Go ahead.
Most people, if you ask them what they like to do, they don't know. Most people, if you ask them what their favorite color, they don't know. And then if you ask them, I had a friend, he told me a story. He said he thought his favorite color was green. So he did some inner healing. He said, somebody said, what's your favorite color? He said, green. He said, green, I look nice in green. It's not even your favorite color. It's something that was imposed upon you that you look nice in the color. So you don't even know what your own favorite color is. We don't even know enough facts. When you ask me, it goes back to what you said in the beginning. We don't know enough about ourselves to even talk about ourselves.
Right. Oh my God. Yo, you just said something that was stupid though. We don't even know enough about ourselves to talk about ourselves. What do you like? What is, you meet a guy and he says, what do you like to do? I like long walks in the park. No, I don't. I get out of breath. I like going to the restaurant, sitting down. Listen, I like shrimp. I like crab. I want you to understand at this point, you need to know that I identify as greedy. I don't know too much.
Identify as greedy.
You
Expand.
understand? Like I am. We don't know that because we have been streamlined into believing what we should be or who we should be or what other people's impression of us should be, right? So then I'm just gonna say this, and then another returnee, her name is Shaquanza Craft, and thank you for coming back. She says, which turns into PPD. I asked that question because I'm slow, and I said, "Well, what's PPD?" She said, "It's
Postpartum.
postpartum depression." Right. So that is so true. If we do not know, or if we cannot figure out who we are at that very moment, or if we are so busy trying to not get into a safe place, we can get into postpartum depression. Now we falling down. Now we weak. We can't function. We can't do anything around us. Like we don't realize that we are so busy as women trying to love a man that don't want to love us back, or we so busy trying to love a job that does not love us back. We are so busy trying to love people that don't love us back. Why are we so dependent on love? Because when we were born to parents that made that, and we were dependent upon them to love us, to take care of us, to nurture us. But if they had to suffer and survive all that time by themselves, they didn't really do what we thought they should do, what we set expectations as we get older.
So
So
what does that turn into? That turns into a bitter root expectation. What is a bitter root expectation? Where I expected you to do this, but you didn't do it. So now I'm low key bitter at the fact that you didn't give me what I wanted you to give me as a child. So then when we get older, we don't understand why we're so bitter. You know what I learned yesterday, and I thought this was so amazing. Maybe I don't know if I was talking to you, Yvonne, or somebody else, but it's so crazy how sometimes we're trying to figure out where the hurt comes from, and we can't find out where it comes from because it comes so far from our back in our past that, and it was just like one phrase, one word, something our parents said, something our aunt said, and it was just like one comment, and that one comment as a child planted a seed inside of us that now we're bitter, now we're angry, now we're upset, and we can't find the root of it because it was such a small seed, because it was such a small sentence, because it was such a small moment. But now we're carrying this because everything that's when something's rooted in the ground, it's going, if it has the right soil, it's going to come forth and it's going to bring forth. And the deeper that thing, and the enemy is so, the Satan, let me tell y'all, he's so strategic. He knows the longer that seed stays in the ground, the harder it is to uproot it. So he starts us when we're kids. He starts putting them seeds in the ground. He throws them all. He says, one of these bad boys got to stick. So he has your aunts calling you ugly. He has all kinds of stuff happening. He has your father walking on you. He has somebody molesting you. And he's doing all of this while you're a child. And then when you get older, you're like, okay, I don't even, there's so much that happened when I was 10, 11, 9, 6, that I don't even know what the root of this. Now I got to heal from multiple things. Multiple.
absolutely. And you know what? Sarcastic poet also said, and also people should know that because this is important. People should know that you can heal from the past, and it doesn't have to be baggage you carry around. So,
Fact.
yeah, 100%, like 100 grand, like Sam. You know what I mean? Like we
Mm-hmm.
have to learn not only to be okay and oh, I'm healed, but if you still carrying that baggage, baby, you just a bag lady. Let go. Let go. You got to put the bags down. You really do. And and then you're absolutely right, Miss Jordan.
Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. I'm sorry.
What's that? What's
That's
happening?
the song she was referencing.
But you got a record deal? Okay. Cause who sing that song?
Cherie Brown, yeah, Clock, Cherie Brown Clock. I don't know.
Well, let them sing it. So listen.
Don't do me like that. Oh, you owe me that one. You owe me
Yeah,
that
I
one.
do. I do because y'all tried to get me, said I couldn't sing, but we all know, everybody on here, that if you know me, y'all all know that I sing very well. So so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have to always encourage ourselves. Sarcastic poet always also said this to you, maybe another time. So yes, so let's just get a little bit free about this, right? So I'm just trying to figure out if the burden that we carry is exactly what we want to carry. Is that something that you are willing to continue to carry with you? Are you want? Do you want to be healthy? What is your thought today on your next step of healthy? Do you have affirmation statements? Do you have things that will pull you out? Do you know people that you can call, send a text to, and say, "Today was not a good day.
Not
Today."
even that. Just like I felt like being ratchet. I wanted to punch somebody in the face. Like somewhere where you could go and dump. Like just literally, it's not about I don't need you to tell me that I'm not acting like God right now. I don't need you to tell me that this is not I need you to just listen to me and hear me. And then at the end, just okay, sis, and now we have to pray. But when you're raw and you're in raw emotion, you don't want to, especially as believers. I feel like we love throwing the scriptures in the Bible at each other. Sometimes you're a safe place, and so there's always scripture. There's an appropriate time for it. But if I'm coming to you and I'm in my rawness and I'm telling you I made a mistake, I'm telling you I fell, I'm telling you, yo, listen, I messed up and I don't know where to go, but I came to you because I feel safe. You shouldn't be telling me, oh, the Bible says no, encourage that. That's not gonna help me. That's not safe. With me, if I come to you and I'm being vulnerable and the first thing you try to tell me is what God says and what the Bible says, I'm shutting down off rip because you're
Right.
not really listening to me. You're listening to me so you could to respond and to give me scripture, but you're not listening to me to understand where I'm at in that moment. Because if you really took into account where I'm at in that moment, right now I just want to vent. I don't, and then at the end I'm gonna pray with you because this is who I am. I'm a believer. But in this moment, I don't want the scripture. I just want you to understand that I'm human. I want you to understand that I'm hurting. Because even when I go back to how God dealt with me, I was acting up, but He didn't deal with me and say, you know what? The Bible says He didn't deal with me and say, Evelyn, get back up and you know what you're supposed to be doing. What He did was He loved on me. He told me, you know what, Evelyn, I love you. You're worth it. You have great things ahead. There's so much I want to do in you. He encouraged me. He loved on me, and that's what safe places do. Safe places do not make you feel when you undress. They don't say, oh, look at that ugly wound on your knee. Oh, look at that. Safe places are not going to constantly point out your flaws. Safe places are not going to constantly. And you know what happens is when you get into the safe place and they do that, you shut down. You're going to shut down. And then what we do is we keep running back to that place expecting something different. If somebody shows you that they are not a safe place, stop going to them expecting them to become a safe place. They've already showed you they was unsafe. They've already showed you they was abusive. If they've already showed you that they have their own issues that are going to conflict with yours. That they talk down to people, they gossip. All those things that make you feel unsafe. Stop dealing with them for a little bit. Get safe yourself.
Right. So I'm sorry. So there's some comments on Facebook as well, and I do see this one big one. It says disposable.
Hmm.
Are we disposable? Are we acting as if we're disposable when we don't want to find a safe place, or are we disposable to other people and we're still looking at them as a safe place, but we're their safe place, and we don't know how to let that go? Um, and then Shamika Robinson said, "Be worldwide." So that's going outside of your natural connections. You have to be worldwide. You cannot stay in the same town, in the same city, in the same state, around the same six friends that you grew up with all your life. Everybody in your set is not going to the next level. Everybody that you're rocking with right now is not going to the next place. Listen, I grew up with a whole bunch of people. I thought I was a thug. Listen, we can bang all day, but when we turning 41 and 50 years old, there's no way I should still be in the same place with the same six friends and we're not doing anything. Like, where is our safe place? It's not within us. That's a comfort zone. That's not a safe place. That's a dwelling place because nobody's pulling anyone up. When you're in a safe place, your safe place is defined as you pulling each other up, bringing each other to a new place. That is exactly what you have to do. So what you have to understand is That's not that we have to get to another place. So then she also said, find people you can relate to. That's huge. Not people that you're better than. I feel like we find friends that we're better than. Not that we find friends that are on our same level. We try to find people that we look prettier than, that we're skinnier than, because people will give us what? More attention. So I think that's huge.
You know what? But I want to say, don't find a person that you relate to in your current condition. Find somebody who you can relate to in your future condition. Because if you find somebody you can relate to in your current condition, you together will be comfortable in your current condition. So if we connect on a place of hurt and that's all we have in common, every time we come, we're just going to relive our hurt and talk about our hurt, about what hurt us, unless we're committed to healing. If I'm broken, I want to connect to somebody who's not broken so they can actually, because guess what? If we're both broken, where are you going to pull me to? You can't pull me anywhere. And a connector, don't just make that one broken friend. And maybe that connection is a godly connection, but make sure there's somebody in your circle who can pull you out of that brokenness. Make sure there's somebody in your circle who is healed. The whole circle shouldn't be broken.
Right. Now that's huge. Now that's huge. I'm gonna come back to YouTube in 1 second, right? I'm gonna come back to YouTube in 1 second. So also Shamika said this too, because it's some messages. She says but you always gotta find you before doing the stepping out.
Yes. Yes.
Because where you gonna go if you don't know you? Right? So
Right.
that goes back to what we said. Like, we don't even know us to talk about us, right? So that's dope. So
Oh,
then
that's good.
Chanda Pilson, she said, deep down inside, there is a thing keeping people away from their truth, right? When we go through pain that is deep, it begins to hide our truth.
Yes. But can I say something about that? Let's
Yes.
relate that to safe places, because when you're in a safe place, the safe place will expose your brokenness. Because a good friend is going to listen to your conversation and say, "Hey, you need to dig deeper, because at the end of that, there's something. There's an anchor at the end of that rope. So I need to pull on that rope to get to the anchor." So sometimes I'll be talking, and Ovana's like a very close friend of mine, but I have a best friend, and sometimes she'll say, "Evelyn, that's rejection. You're speaking from rejection." And I'll say, "Wait a minute." And she'll say, "Listen to what you're saying. You need to go spend time with your father, because that's a sound of rejection." So what I'm saying is, deep down inside, a safe place should cause some things to be exposed to you, some things that you didn't even know was inside of you. A safe place, especially praying friends. If your friends are praying for you, there's times when Ovana will call me and be like, and we will have a conversation, and I can tell my sister's been praying for me because of the things that's coming out of her mouth. I'm like, okay, this had flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. This was the Father that revealed this to you. And then, safe places are going to expose that brokenness that you really didn't want to deal with. Safe places are going to expose that relationship and that you walked away from, but you're acting like you're okay, but you're still in love with that man. You're still in love with that woman. And then you might be able to be honest with everybody, fake with everybody else, like, nope, I'm over that man. I don't want him. He ain't no good. He wish he could have all this, but then you go to your friend like, "Girl, I'm still in love. Like, I just want
I
to
know
tell
that
you,
right now. Call him for me.
yeah, can you
He
just
come
pray?
everywhere. I'll be on mute.
Can we prank call him or something? I need to hear his voice. Like, I've been scrolling his Facebook for 2 months. Like, you know, a secret place, a safe place, you'll feel comfortable enough to expose yourself, my vulnerability, because everybody else is like, "Girl, she's so strong. She done broke up with that man. He got a new car. She glowed up. She came back looking like revenge. But and meanwhile, she's with her safe places talking about, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm barely holding it together." So
There's a
yeah,
lot of tears behind that smile sometimes.
yes,
A lot of tears behind that smile.
the safe place always sees behind the smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now that was good. That was good. That's how you know that's your safe place, because they always see behind the smile, right? So I'm just gonna go from because for some I can put there. I'm gonna put this comment up here, and I'm gonna get back to Facebook in a couple of seconds, right? So what I see here is it says sarcastic poet said, "I find that people need to know how to start the healing process. Period." Ooh,
Period.
right? And my advice is always start within. It's imperative. You can't start on the outside because Ricky Tikki Timbo, No Star Rimbo, Cherryberry Bucci, Pit Perry Pimbo, he fell into
What is
the
that?
well. He fell into the well. And he
Oh.
didn't start, he was upset with his brother. But he didn't start why he was upset with his brother, right? When you feel yourself digressing into depression, self hate, judgment of others, and gossip, go inside and find out why you judging that person, why you hate yourself so much, why do you feel like you gotta gossip 24/7? Why do you feel like that?
Mhm.
She also said, ask yourself, oh, she said that. She said, ask yourself why you feel that way. What triggered it and why does your reaction come from a negative place? Then take steps to change your behavior. It's a process and a journey. Let's talk about
Absolutely.
this part right here. This one sentence that I just want to touch, and I'm gonna get right back to my people over here on Facebook. Listen, then take steps to change your behavior. This
You
is
have,
where you have to get real with yourself, right?
you
Mhm.
have to realize that you the issue at first. It always starts with you. Hurt people all the time. And we don't want to admit that it starts with us, but it starts with us. You know, it hurt people hurt people. You got to get that right with you first. You're not going to be happy for anybody else. You're not going to big nobody up. You're not going to cheer nobody on until you happy with yourself. Period.
You got to get to the point where you can be your own cheerleader. No
Yes.
matter who's cheering you on,
Yes.
no matter who has your back, you can look back and be like, I did that. Through the grace of God, of course, not in a prideful way. But we have to get to the point where we are our cheerleaders that if nobody likes your Facebook video, if nobody likes that picture you post, if nobody says your hair looks popping, that you looked in the mirror like, sis, you did that.
Yes.
You got to
You
get
know
to
it
that
already.
point. You got to be your own cheerleader because when you're your own cheerleader, you're okay with or without the likes. You're okay with or without the accolades. You're okay with or without it because you're your own cheerleader.
Absolutely.
Right,
And we got to be okay with the fact that it's going to bother us. The people that you think is the closest to you, you think they would be right there by your side. And it's gonna bother you to see everything that you're trying to put your hard work in, and ain't nobody noticing it. But you got to know that deep down within, you did that. You did your best. Point blank. Period. You did your best. So you're not gonna have everybody clapping it up for you because it be the ones that you close to that really don't care. You have to
Right.
make sure that you care, and that everybody else that you don't know is gonna see that, and you're gonna bless everybody else, even the ones that supposed to be by your side, that's not by your side, you're going to bless everybody just by draining that presence off of yourself. But you have to have that confidence. You have to believe that you are capable and that you're going to do this and you're going to make it right within. Until
Right.
anybody else believes it, you got to believe it yourself.
um,
And a lot of people say like fake it till you make it, like just say you're beautiful until you believe you're beautiful. And I do agree with that, but I also at some point you got to figure out why don't you think you're beautiful? What is
Absolutely.
rooted? That's one of them ropes with an anchor at the end. Why don't I think I'm beautiful? Why when I can't look in the mirror and be pleased with what I see? Why when and then we have those people who are never the problem, and then we have them people who always feel like they are the problem. Like everything, it's always me. I messed up. Nobody loves me because I'm not good enough. Nobody, I'm always the problem. So you have to, that inner healing, everything. Okay, so real quick, we have to go from dealing with a fruit to a root, right?
Mm.
Everything we've been trying to deal with, like a lot lately with our emotions, is all fruit stuff. It's a fruit from a poisonous tree. Now, how do we heal? We don't deal with the fruit stuff. My insecurities is a fruit. What's at the root of that? What's the seed that got put in the ground? That's where I need to be uprooted. That's why I need to get my shovel and go dig. Okay, well, I don't feel like I'm pretty enough. Okay, that's a fruit. Okay, I'm addicted to something. That's a fruit. Okay, what else? I can't love myself the way I need to. Okay, that's a fruit. And you need to dig. Dig. Never just say, okay, well, look at something and say, because the enemy wants us to be so stuck on the fruit that we never really get to the root.
Amen.
ah,
Get to the root.
I'm guilty of that. All everything. I'm guilty of it. Fake it till you make it. That is still my best attribute. I
That's the churches.
ain't
I've
even
heard
gonna
that in
lie.
the church. I've heard that
yeah,
in the church, and it's such a toxic mentality. Fake it till you make it, because you get so comfortable faking it that you never actually make it.
Exactly. You think you're going somewhere, but deep down you stuck. Everybody looking at you, what you look like, your hair did up. If you just sitting there, thoughts going through your head, twiddling your fingers, not knowing which way to turn.
You get so comfortable faking it, being fake, being a fraud, and everybody, but they forgot that you was a sinner. They forgot. But low key, you didn't forget because you're still a sinner. You didn't forget
Exactly.
because you're still broken. You didn't forget because you're still going home depressed because you went to the church and put on the show because I'm faking it till I make it. Because I don't have a safe place to tell. Listen, you gonna remember that sin I was dealing with when I first joined the church? I know it's 10 years later, but I'm still there, and I was faking it till I made it. But what had happened was I never made it.
Let me say this: 100%, I agree, 1,010%, but I cannot fake it because whatever emotion I'm going through at that point, if it's that deep rooted in me, it's going to manifest. And when it manifests, it's coming to attack everyone. And even though I can't control it because I don't know how to control it. So we got to be real with ourselves to understand that when I go crazy, I can't identify what my crazy is until after I've exploded. And then sometimes it's really too late. So it's imperative to have that safe place, but also let's be clear about this safe place, right? Because I called on my safe place a lot, right? And I watched a movie and the girl called her friend and she said, girl, what's your headspace look like today? How you feeling today? She was like, I'm good. What's up? Well, let me get ready to tell you what happened today. Because we are so ready to dump on people, and the people that we're dumping on, we forget that they have a life too. We forget that they're suffering too. We forgot that they hurt just like how we hurting. So we also going into a safe place as we're learning how to develop a safe vocabulary within ourselves, and then having a safe relationship with people. We have to be okay with talking to them about them as well. We can't make it a one-sided show, because I can tell you that my cousin, I've made her a one-sided show. Like, I call her like, let me tell you what happened. No, you don't know. No, you don't know. Listen. And she be like, this is her. This is really what she does. Okay. So now you're going to do what? But why are you so mad about it? Like, in my brain, that's what I'm really saying in my brain, right?
We need it though.
Just because if my cousin is listening, I just want her to understand that I really be like this, but my brain set, because I'm transitioning, is hearing you say the things that you're saying. So now I understand that you got to calm down. What you got to really find out why you're really angry about these specific things. Once you figure out why you're angry, your safe place to make you think.
Yeah.
Safe place to have you recounting what you do. That's your accountability place. So your safe place is your accountability partner. Your safe place is the one that'll check you real quick, right? Your safe place is the one that tell you, you know how to pray. I'm gonna pray with you. Your safe place is somebody that's going to dig on the inside with you until you can uproot things and understand. Yes, I go to church. Yes, hallelujah, God, I love Him to death. My safe place and your safe place might be two different safe places, right? But my one common goal is that even if your safe place is not my safe place, if you call me, understand that what I say and how I say it is definitely going to be from the place that I learned how to have a safe place with God. So we have to be okay with, you can't Bible beat somebody that God really sent to be a safe place. You just can't do that. But I do have some other things to say. Now, okay.
Can I just throw a comment in? Because in my head it's funny. Real quick. I'm the friend that you be like, oh, they were acting up, they were wilding out. And I'll be like, what you want to do, sis?
All day.
All day. But then at the end, I'll be like, nah, we can't do that. You want to pray now? Like, we done? I'll be like, what we finna do? We rolling on them? We rolling our phone? Because I'm quitting.
She was like, what you say? Who we got to pop off? I'm like,
right.
Now,
and at the end, I'll be like,
like me.
And I'll be like, nah, we ain't doing that. Let's pray now.
Right. Shamika said, Shamika goes to change. Shamika said, okay, that's facts. She said, what she pretty much was saying was that because okay, so now Chanda said, always, she said, I always tell my mentees, The root of healthy is healing. So that's imperative. We must need to understand that the root of healthy is healing. So you have to start healing in order for you to be able to receive healthy. So also now we're gonna go ahead. I know I had Shaquan's little comment. It's with big impact up here for a long time because it has a lot of impact. It says just learn what works for you to begin to heal. Find a safe outlet. And you got to understand a safe outlet for some people can be, this is what I was getting ready to say right here. So I'm going to just skip all the way down to her comment because this is exactly what I was getting ready to say right here.
Yeah.
Gotta get back to my notebook. Been missing them because some people's safe place is writing. I mean, look at sarcastic poet writing. I mean, books, be writing, reading. Some people's safe place is not. You don't just because you don't want to talk to people does not mean that you shut down the world. It just means that you realize that your mental state was becoming toxic. It was poisoned. It was poisoned by a lot of abuse, physical, mental, emotional, sexual. It doesn't self-inflict it. And you said, I started writing today. And when I began to write today, my heart began to pour out. I became so empty that I knew that I felt better. I got up today and I said, when I started writing, that today was the best day I had because I wasn't so emotional. I wasn't so broken. And I cooked a meal today. And even if you're single, even if you're a single mother, if you are a married couple, or it doesn't even matter, if you are barren and you've been praying and asking God to loose your womb, I decree and declare that the womb shall be released. But when you get up in the morning and you cooked yourself a breakfast, that was your good day. So we got to get back to a place and we have to empty. I know that looked crazy, right, y'all? Look, y'all ready? I said, you got to empty because when you empty out, there's some you are able to receive something good on the inside, right? So then let's just say this right here. Also, I'm gonna go back here. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, let's go. Shaquanza. Okay. No, I'm sorry. That's not it. All right. Then a sarcastic poet says, stop giving so much power to how other people feel about you and your situation.
Because they be hurting too. They be hurting too. We worried about what everybody else thinks about us, and they hurting too. We all going through it. We
be caring so much about what an unhealthy person got to say.
Yes.
Oh, I thought somebody unhealthy said something. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, I'm sitting here going to unhealthy people trying to get like my notebook and my prayer time is where I get my freedom. I'll write, and for me, I write music. I like even though I might not record it all, but I'll sit and I'll just write a rap and just be like, okay. And this is
I knew she was going to wait. Hold on, pause, because this is a woman's talk show, right? This is sisters talking. I just want to let everybody know right now that she don't, cousin. You know me, cousin. You know I spit a hot 100 bars quick. Nah, cousin. She be like rapping like cousin. She need a whole record deal, be like
anyway.
and Shamika. I know that I got skills. I should have been signed, with the locks a long time ago, but God chose a different path for me. But like when I tell you that she's spitting a hot 97, I'm telling you, she need to be on hot 97 right now, pumping it. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't like how she be nonchalant about a gift like that. She be like, and I'm over here
speaking in tongues. I be speaking in tongues. And the funny thing is, for me, it's really since I was 15. It was my release. It made me feel like, I don't know, when I write, it flows out of me. And it necessarily doesn't even have to be about what I'm going through. It might just be that it's just the writing. It just releases. So whatever you have to do to get free, I wouldn't say go to people to get free first. Find healing within yourself. Don't look for a safe place until you first are a safe place. I just wanted to go back about something Ovana had said earlier about being a safe place. I don't remember what it was, but it made me think of this. When you're a safe place too, don't let nobody abuse you as a safe place. Don't be abused. Oh, that's what she would say. Don't let nobody dump on you and you don't know how to release what they're dumping on you. If you know how to release it, cool, because you have to know what your assignment is to everybody. If God's put me in your life to be that place where you can just dump, I gotta know that in my heart I can release everything you're dumping on me, and I'm not taking on your stuff and living with it. You know what I'm saying? So safe place is a two-way. It's a two-way relationship. You know, because if somebody's always coming, because if you're unhealthy and you're used to being overtalked and you're used to being abused and you're used to being put down, you'll allow people to dump on you even after it's heavy, even after you can't take no more. You'll keep letting them dump because you feel like that's all you have to give. All I have
Give
is
it.
not here. You know, so don't let nobody dump on you to the point where you're just if you're, because some people are called to that. Some people who can just listen and release, but not everybody's called to do that. That's why some of us are walking around depressed and weighted down, because we're not only holding on to our own stuff, we're holding on to other people's stuff because we never knew how to release it.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and that's caused ailments. That can cause sickness when you holding on to people's stuff that's not yours. But I just wanted to really dive in on this really quick about stop giving so much power to how other people feel about you and your
Yeah.
situation. I need us to understand that this is valid. Like we do this. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you sitting as honoree somewhere. I don't care if you Brad Pitt. I don't care. I don't care if you Kevin Hart. I don't care who you are. And I don't care if it's Ashley. I don't care if it's Ev. I don't care if it's me. This is powerful because we sit and we dwell on the very thing that we thought we couldn't accomplish because somebody told us that we were not good enough, that we couldn't do it. But then when you turn around and you see the only thing that they've been doing for the last 6 months is posting on social media, that they haven't even started an online clothing store, that they haven't even said, you know what, I started a book, I wrote a book. They didn't even pick 25 books that they was going to read for the next 6 months. They haven't done nothing, but yet the same ideas that were put in you for you to birth, it becomes their job to tell you that you can't do it.
Can't
And
do it.
that's when you know a safe place is needed. Because when you get into people and let people dictate your situation, that means that for so long, people have been dictating it to you and you've been holding on. And that's why you're still stuck with the same 6 friends that you've been with. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to release all of them, but all of them are not supposed to stay. So we have to really get strategic about who is supposed to be there and who isn't supposed to be there. So we have to definitely be in that place. And you did say, I know this is really late, sarcastic poet. She did say that anchor analogy was spot on, prophetess. So that was really good. And then Shaquanza says, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta dwell on. You gotta let that marinate. Waterfall.
Listen. Sometimes it's hard to find a safe place in the form of a person. It really is. It really is, because especially when you have so much to unpack, or when you're so clear that somebody is really going to tell all of your hidden secrets, or everybody's just going to talk about you. When you feel like that, when you feel like, oh my God, I know that I dump on this person all the time, and you try to find other people you can dump on, but it's easier because they know you better. It's easier because they can talk you through it, right? But it's not fair to them, and I think that's really important. And this I mean, we have to hashtag that comment, like hashtag waterfall for a mouth. I mean, you got to post that. Make sure you tag the show, Shaquanza, with hashtag watermouth for, waterfall for a mouth. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if I slept with 10 of your brothers. I don't care if I was running around pop locking and dropping it when I was 17 and 18. I don't care if I was a teen
That's
mom.
why I was.
I don't care about nothing that you told. So what, I was evicted. So what, I was homeless. So what, I lost my car. So what, we lost our life. So what, we didn't have no food. But guess what? You went through the same thing that I went through. But because I was open and honest about it, you came back and you threw it in my face. But do you know why you threw it in my face? Because you yourself did not know how to turn it around and make it better. And you wanted me to stay in the same place as you. And I couldn't do that because I really had people who were pulling for me. I really had people who were really fighting for me, like, go do it. Stop talking about it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. And I'm like, nah, because in my mind, success kills safe places. Success breaks down friendships and families. Success, because that's what my mind was poisoned to believe. Because you get here, they pull you back here. And
Right.
that's why you got to make sure that, first of all, nobody said I was even talking to you. This is what I be talking about with people talking about, I know, cousin, and I love you for it. No, that's how she talked to for real. She be like, I know. That's how she talked. I just wanted to say that.
Can I say something about the waterfall for a mouth real quick too? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just want to say too, this is why safe places are built and not erected overnight, right? Because if you got to know who you're exposed, you're undressing in front of, and be wary of anybody who tries to instantly make you undress. Because but you all know what I mean by undress. Undressing is my phrase to be transparent, to be open. Be wary of anybody who tries to make you undress quickly. Because if they try to make you undress quickly, there's either one or two problems. It's either they don't understand safe places or their intent are no good. So they're erected, they're not built overnight. Safe places, I want to just get that out. They're not built overnight. You spend time getting to know how you spend time, maybe you'll give them something little and see their response, and you could dwell on that and get to know person. Never be, everybody's not that. No, every safe place can have a different assignment to your life. A safe place that you could have one safe place that you go to get the correction. Like if I know I need correction, I'm going to Ovana. It is what it is. If I know I want to be told about myself and I want to be but I have another friend. If I just need to be heard, I'm gonna go to her. You know what I'm saying? But these places weren't erected overnight. You know what I'm saying? We're building. We're spending time in conversations. We're spending time getting to know one another. So don't be so quick to undress. Don't be so quick to just pour your heart out to people because you'll end up in a Samson Delilah situation. But we'll talk about that another.
Trust is so important, and that goes for trust in other people and trust in ourselves. We want to believe everybody is there for us all the time because we need somebody so bad that we are willing to put our trust in anybody. And we have to say that balance out. Sometimes the person we think that we can trust the most with things is ready to tell your business. And to me personally, that goes for pillow talk too. If I'm talking to my best friend about something, that's not for you to just put the husband.
Right.
So when you have people to talk to, trust is such a big issue because we don't have trust, we don't have nothing. So that's why people keep things to themselves because it's easier for them to keep things to themselves. And this goes back to Shaquanza when she said, we got to get back to writing in their notebooks and everything. We got to get back to a lot of things because just like you said, when you rap when you was 15 years old, that's something you love to do. We forget what we love to do that made us happy, that we got so consumed to hurt us and so consumed in the people who hurt us that we don't trust no more. We don't do the things we used to do no more. And we stuck in what sometimes we think it's our safe place, but it's not our safe place. It's a comfortable. It's a comfortable space. We have to get out of that comfortable space to get back in that safe space to doing the things that we love to do so we can trust ourselves to trust the people who love us. Because when we don't trust the people who love us that want to pour into us, we feel dumped on all the time. We dump it on ourselves and we allowing other people to dump on us.
Right.
So we got to get back to what we used to love to do. We got to get back to being our happy selves, doing what we used to love, writing, singing, drawing, painting, whatever that used to be. We got to get back to that. We got to get off of this and get back to that.
Yep. And safety, remember, safety is always going to come from real, unperverted, and untainted love. It's not going to come from anything other than that. So you have to first learn what love is. You know what I'm saying? What's healthy love? What does love look like? What does love sound like? Because if you don't know what healthy love is, you're not going to know when healthy love passes. You're not going to know when healthy love is in front of you. Because if you're toxic, healthy can look real suspect. I learned that about myself. If you're toxic, you'll look at somebody like, why are they so happy? Why are they so nice to me? Like, that's the devil. Ain't nobody always that happy. Ain't nobody always just want to talk to me about, you got to learn what healthy looks like. But how do we learn what healthy looks like? By becoming healthy, by learning who we are first. Okay, am I toxic? That's a question that a lot of people don't want to ask themselves. Am I the toxic one? Because we love calling other people toxic, our family, our friends. But wait a minute, am I toxic?
We often are. Very often we are.
Right, right. Tell the truth, shame the devil. It's a possibility. It's a possibility that we can be. Yes, yes.
It's a strong
I want to
possibility.
say something. Uh, uh, um, can y'all see her comment?
Yep, we can see it.
Absolutely.
Can somebody read it?
Disconnected
Disconnecting
from.
from
Go ahead. I'm
people.
sorry.
Disconnected from people, family and friends, loving them from a distance, sanity. It's okay to not keep people around who are toxic, that are not a safe place. If that ain't the truth, and it hurts. That hurts to have to cut people off that you grew up with, that's in your family, your cousins that you every Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday. I was taking up every time you was with them. Y'all had that relationship. It hurts to have to cut people off, but you have to do that. You try to stay in a relationship that's not healthy, you become crazy. You start making up arguments in your head. You start thinking that everybody is attacking you, and you start to become like the people that you don't want to be, and it messes with your sanity. So you have to cut people off. Sometimes it could be your, sometimes it could be a sibling, it could be a best friend that you've been friends with for years. You have to do it. Uncomfortable, but God don't make you let you stay comfortable for too long. When it's time to move, you're gonna start feeling real uncomfortable. You got to get out the way. You got to move and you got to let things go.
Right.
Some of these things are so deep rooted when it comes to family and friends. That's how we get stuck. That's how we really do get stuck. But I do see when people do disconnect from the families. I do see when people do disconnect from friends, how a lot of things that you felt like you had to do before, you don't have to do them anymore. Like you
Mm-hmm.
do become okay with you. It's okay that I smack. Happy. So what? Yeah, I chew with my mouth open. So it's my mouth. Like when I'm by myself, it's okay. So now new people find out that I smack, and I'm okay with that. They know I'm chewing. So what? They know I'm loud. They know I shout. They know all you gotta do is say a couple of words, and Jesus, here I come. Right. So I want to read Shaquan's comment, if you don't mind.
We get so caught up in hiding from our truths and who we are that
Mm.
we forget that who and what we really are as that we forget who and what we really are as women. Some people don't even remember what used to make them happy. That goes back to what Ashley said. Like, or what I even said earlier about my friend. He told me, "Oh, somebody asked him what's his favorite color." He didn't even know. He gave him a color, and then when they was like, "Why is that your favorite color?" He said, "Oh, because my mom told me I look good in this color." So he adapted that as his own reality. You know what? Let me tell you something. Growing up as a pastor's kid, I'm a pastor's kid. I've always been told what was expected of me. I was always told this is what you're going to be. And then in the church, they just see the call on your life. So what I tried to do is adapt to that. And then when I came back in the church, I went into it so heavy that I didn't know who I was. I had to literally come out of church and say, God, I don't know who I am, because I had tried to become everything that everybody else wanted me to be. And by the time I got so engulfed in trying to make everybody else happy, I sat down one day and said, Evelyn, who was you before you tried to be what everybody else wanted you to be? Who was you? And I didn't even know. I couldn't find myself. And again, I had to get on my knees and pray, see God, and let go of what everybody else told me I should be, and become who God wanted me to be and who I really was. So for some of us, it's going to take for us to really sit back and examine, am I am I living in my truth, or am I being who I'm expected to be? Especially
Mm-hmm.
when you go to church, you should be doing this, you should be wearing that, you should be watching this, you should be doing that. So we're so busy trying to do what they tell us what we should be doing that we really don't know who we really are, because there's a chance that what you're telling me to do is not what God wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everybody expects something from you.
Well, I'm gonna
They
just
they
say,
expect something from you.
there
They
you
won't
go.
tell themselves.
There you go. I'm gonna say this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say this because I'm gonna say this. Uh, I feel like I came from the church to the streets. Let's tell the truth. My safe place was in the church, but that's where I was groomed by a pastor. Let's tell the truth. Like, we have to understand that I was in the church young. I didn't understand what was taking place. So when I come out into the world, I can adapt to anything because of the type of person that I am, that I had to be, right? Because now I know I'm supposed to be at church, but I want to understand, what is my friends doing? Like, what is my sister and them doing? Like, why they always acting like they be having so much fun? Now I want to go out. Now I want to chill. Let me find out. Let me see what it feel like to smoke. Like, because I didn't know. I thought that was cool. But then as you get older, you smoking, you drinking, you fornicating, and it comes to an endless love. There's an endless love for drugs. There's an endless love for an addiction. There's an endless love for abuse, because we were abused mentally, emotionally, and physically, that we don't understand that that's what happened. Our mind began to get trained in that manner. So for me, I feel like we just really do have to get to the truth for us, right? And I'm gonna just go ahead and say, Shamika said, nah. We all know how she sound. Nah, you can't fake it.
Nah.
She said, it would never be anything other than fake. So pretty much it's true, because when you begin to fake things, you forget that who you are, and then you're starting to convey something different. So don't fake it till you make it. You
So
know
when
what?
you're faking, when does it become a cover up?
Right. That's true. No, that's fake, do, because after a while, once you can't fake it anymore, now
Can't.
you are starting to cover it up. That's how you start wearing makeup, because your eye is black. That's the cover up.
Not
Right.
even that. You trying to fake it so much, you go through a mental breakdown eventually. All that's gonna break down when you trying
Right.
to act like everything's okay and put on this smile when deep down you hurting, but you just don't want to talk about it. You don't want, God forbid, everybody knows that the person who everyone thinks is so perfect all the time is going through something. You eventually gonna go through a really bad mental breakdown. And you ain't gonna know which way to turn after that. You ain't gonna know whether you should call and get prayed for, if you could go to the ER. You're not gonna know what to do, because that all that was covering up and that you was faking, it crumbled and it's on top of you. You can't get up now. You can't
Well,
get up.
there's
You
two
need
We're
sides of
not
that
even gonna
too.
make it. We're not even gonna make it like I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. So real quick. Let's keep it $150, right? Real quick.
Buck 50.
100, right? Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Listen, you gotta know what your cutoff point is. I know my cutoff point now. Before I didn't.
I was gonna
I
say
know what my trigger is. I didn't know what my cutoff point was when I was getting beat. I didn't know what my cutoff point was when I got smacked so hard that the glasses flew off of my face. I didn't know what it was when I was in the park getting beat up and the police rolled up because the people heard me screaming. And he said to me while the police pulled up and said, "You say something, I'll kill you." His drugs fell on the floor. All I had to do was move my foot and they would have seen him. But I was so terrified because I didn't know what my cutoff point was, that I didn't know that I had it in me to bust him wide open. I didn't know that, right? And because what I wanted was a man that can successfully take care of me and not work. If you knew me, I'm not working for nobody. And if he can't take care of me, my conversation costs money. I don't have to sleep with you and rub on you and be all over you. No, my conversation costs bread. We're in 1475. You can't talk to me about nothing else. So I never had the opportunity to be other than who I was. The only thing that I can tell you really is, when did I stop saying I reached my point and now I know what I just seen in the comment about boundaries? You can't dictate to me what you're going to do in my house no more. You can't dictate to me how I'm going to feel on today. But I'm real quick. Let me go to Shamika, because Shamika's going and going. She said, no matter what your wait, hold on. She said you always have to start within, and usually other person's judgment of you is the reflection of them.
amen.
That's called that's called projection. People will project on you what they really feel. That's called. You have to know when you gotta listen. You can hear it. That you'll be like, nah, that's not me. That's you.
Yeah.
And don't take it on because it's somebody who just says it. you know what we happen, and we'll take it on and be like, oh, they must be saying this because they love me, or and then why would they lie? And so this really must be how they perceive me. Again, you have to be able to say, nope, that's not me. I don't want it. I will block a word quick. I don't care. I don't receive it. I don't care if you are not prophesying. I'll be like, nope, I don't receive that. That's not me. I know who I am, and nobody's gonna tell me otherwise. We have to get to a point where we know who we are, not only in Christ, but just know who we are. Period. If
Right.
somebody tells you you're a liar all the time and you know you don't be lying, you don't gotta receive that. If somebody telling you you're ugly all the time and you know you're not ugly, you don't gotta receive that. That's how they feel about themselves. That has nothing to do with you.
Right.
Period.
Period. Oh, but listen, and then Shamika says sometimes you got to check yourself. Period.
All the time. You always got to check yourself. Always got to check yourself. Before you walk through that door, you got to check yourself. Because before you can check anybody else for trying to check you, you got to make sure that you check yourself
Right.
first and foremost. You can't check someone if you ain't check yourself. Mm-mm. You can't.
Check
You always
yourself.
got to check yourself. Yes, me.
Check
Always
yourself
gotta
before you
check
wreck yourself.
always.
Right, that whole part. First of all, you not getting ready to call me fat, and then I'm mad. And then yesterday I was in the mirror like, girl, you fat.
But
First of all, don't try to tell me you go on no diet. I told my little cousin real quick, Shamika, I'm not ready to stop eating the snacks. I know I have to lose some weight.
Oh, Vaughn.
Stop talking to me about it. I'll walk when I'm ready. And I
yeah.
let her know I walked her 2 miles. I let her know, and I hadn't had no chips. Like I told her that. But it's on my time. Not because she was saying lose the weight, lose the weight. It was because I was complaining. Like, okay, so since you're complaining, you got options, right? Healthy choices. So then sarcastic poet says, people try to feed me the mess all the time. How are you happy all the time? How do you remain
With itself.
positive all the time? She said her answer is because I choose to.
Yes.
How
Yes.
you have to choose to
Yes.
do things, right? So we're gonna wrap it up. And we're gonna, I know I love y'all. Y'all are so dope. So what I'm gonna do is, real quick, I'm gonna go through the last comments, and then we're gonna go ahead. If you have any comments that you would like to throw out right now, please feel free to do so. So before I even get into the rest of the comments, I need to let you know this is a safe place. I'm not here to judge you. Evelyn is not here to judge you. Ashley is not here to judge you. I need you to understand that God loves you. We love you. You are designed for a purpose. You are the one that God chose. That's why you were birthed. That's why you have the name that He has given to you, because you were chosen. You were selected. You were picked, and I picked you too. So if you ever have any questions, you can always go to Evelyn Stanley's page, Ashley Roddenauer's page, Shamika Robinson's page. You can always go to their page, and you can always go to their inbox. You can always talk to them. I know Shamika is a part of the panelists, but she's kind of busy, so she's in there writing questions, making comments, which we do appreciate her for her support, even though she in her absence. I'm a whole Baptist. So listen, I just want y'all to know that we are in safe places. And I don't care what they said about you. I'm going to say the opposite. So if they got a problem with it, we can three-way them. So now I'm going to go ahead and go here real quick. Shaquanza said, the more you fake it, the more your heart starts to speak through your face. Keep
Absolutely.
if you want to.
Absolutely. Can I just touch on that real fast, because I can totally relate to that. Like I said, I had a fake it till you make it for a long time, okay, because I was battling my own internal demons. And I look back 2-3 years ago at pictures I used to take, and I say, I used to smile and actually mean that smile. At one point, there was a time when I had to make myself smile. Or you might see a picture where I might look a little serious, where you might say, okay, girl, but really, I was like, it was hard to smile. And she's absolutely right. It starts to reflect on your face. It starts to reflect on your external being, because building things up is going to overflow. So you have to make sure that you have someone that you can pour out to, whether like it's your notebook, whether it's a woman, whether it's a friend, whoever it may be, because it starts to overflow. And you will look back and you will say that you don't look recognizable, that you miss smiling. and having a reason to smile all the time, even though you got the reason to smile right in front of your, you want to smile, but it starts to overflow. It starts to build up. It starts to become too much. So she's absolutely right about that. I can totally relate. I can totally relate. And if I can just touch on one more thing in regards to what Sarcastic Poet said, we all have choices, and the easy choice is to stay stuck and to stay in our comfortable zone. The hard choice is to choose to be happy and choose to keep pushing and to choose to move on and let go and let God. That's the hard part. But we all have choices. So take the hard road. The easy road, it ain't get us that far. The hard road is going to get us a little bit further, and eventually we're going to be able to smile and recognize that this smile is who we are, who we used to be, and get back to that smile that we used to smile about.
Absolutely. Ev, you want to go ahead and read Shaquan's comment? This will be the last comment.
People will always reveal the sorrows of their souls and hearts through the way they speak and carry themselves. Pay attention; they are not safe places.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm in 100%. I'm in 100% agreement. Being in deliverance, because one thing I believe in is a lot of people need inner healing and deliverance. What is deliverance? Deliverance is casting out devils. Deliverance is going in and reorganizing your mess in your spirit. Because a lot of times the things that God allowed us to go through, the enemy will use it and he'll use it against us, not knowing that God had allowed that so it can build us, so it can make us stronger, so it can make us go to make us give us power. But what happens is the enemy will pervert that thing. And he'll make you hate it. But God's like, you will just take a second and allow me to go in and literally rearrange these things. I want to repurpose your hurt. I want to repurpose your childhood trauma. And I want you to take these things and step on them and stand on them. And if you can stand upon these things, the higher you'll go. Don't let them bury you. As the dirt's being thrown, step on the dirt. Don't let the dirt bury you. Stay on top of the dirt. So God wants for some of us to get delivered. And we're always going to reveal because your soul, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's what
Mm.
the scripture says. So what's
Yes.
in your heart is always going to come out. And when I was
Yes.
younger, the best phrase I used to use is like a balloon. When something hits a balloon and it pops, pow. Upon impact, whatever's inside of that balloon is going to come out. So even
Right.
you, upon impact, you have to realize if every time somebody says a word to you, it's triggering you back to your childhood. If every time somebody says a word to you, it's triggering you back to when your mother left. You have to realize that there's a little girl inside of you that's crying out for healing. There's a teenager inside of you that's saying, okay, enough with this. I want to be healed. I want you to be free. So you're always going to hear, even if it's in conversation, you're always going to hear the hurt. You're going to hear the sorrow. You can't hide it forever. So if this is you, if you're right now, if you're one and even whether you're watching this on the live or you're watching this on the replay, if you're one who has been hiding your sorrow, you're only tricking yourself because the people around you really
Yes.
know. The people listening to you really know. The people who care about you really know. It's time for you to make a conscious decision to say, I'm not going to stay like this. I refuse to go into my future with this hurt and pain. Your back got to be hurt, like hurting. Your heart got to be hurting. You got to be tired. You got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You got to be tired of waking up in the morning wishing that you died in your sleep. You got to be tired of waking in the morning carrying that pain. It's time.
Yes.
There's so many resources. There's so many things you can do to be free. Get your freedom. For Ovana, she has a podcast, and in one of them, she said, "Fight for your freedom. Fight for your
Mm-hmm.
freedom. Don't just sit there and let the devil overtake you. Don't let the sit there and let the
Yes.
devil make you think that you're worthless, that you're not good enough. It's time for you to get your freedom." Sorry, I went in.
Nah, don't be sorry. We all need to hear that. We all need to hear that.
It's time. It's time out for just sitting in the background, watching everybody else be free and watching everybody live their best life. God said, even you, the one who thinks that they don't deserve to live their best life, the one who did so much dirt that they're like, I'm only getting what I deserve. I don't deserve to be better. I don't deserve to be married. I don't deserve to have a husband. I don't deserve to have a business. God said, you, the one who's thinking that in their mind right now, that you're the one that shall be above and not beneath. You are the one who will have a husband or the wife. You are the one who will have the business. You will
Yes.
have the children. I know you did a lot and you think that God's not going to allow you to bring forth fruit and have children out of your womb. But I want to let somebody know that you will have that child. I don't care what
Yes.
you did in your past. I don't care the mistakes you made. You will have a child. You will not adopt another child. You'll have a fruit of your own womb. That's what I'm hearing right now. I don't know who this is for, but somebody listening or who's going to listen in the next session, you're right now beating yourself up over what you did. You might have cheated on your husband. You might have made a mistake. You might have did something, but God is saying you will have a baby. You will bring forth a baby. Your marriage will be healed. You don't think that you deserve that man anymore. You don't think that that you deserve his love anymore. But God is saying your marriage is going to be reconciled and you're going to be healed in the name of Jesus. Jesus, I felt Jesus on that.
Yes. I knew it was coming. Mm.
Oh
There's
my
such
God.
a healing. There's such a healing. I just feel the presence of God for healing, Ovana. Ovana, like God just wants, like, everybody wants to operate in the gifts of healing. Sometimes there's healing through conversation. And Ovana, as you keep doing this, I hear God saying there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be mentally set free through this podcast, because you're giving them not only, you're giving them good information, because there's so many podcasts and there's so much informational tools, but you're anointed to do this, for the Spirit of the Lord is upon you. And he said, because I've anointed you to do this, when you come forth, there's going to be people who listen. And I see schizophrenia. I see depression. I see bipolar depression. I see postpartum depression. I see it breaking off the people, because you were anointed to do this. This podcast wasn't by mistake. It wasn't that you just had an idea. I said, I need my people free. I want my people free. And this is a time that I desire to pour my spirit out. And he said, if those who are willing to seek me and spend time in my presence will begin to make my known on earth, he said, I'll begin to heal the land. I'll begin to heal the people. I'll begin to heal their children. I know there's children who have been in wheelchairs that the doctor said they would never walk. And the doctor said there's no healing. But I even see, as you're doing the podcast, that somebody's child is good. The faith, you're going to talk faith into somebody. Somebody's faith is going to be restored. And as their faith is restored through this podcast, they're going to pray for their child, and the child shall walk again. They're going to pray for their daughter who is suffering from depression and going to school being bullied. And their daughters are going to be saved, set free, healed, and delivered, because God wants to heal his people. He desires, he's thirsty to heal his people. But the opportunities are just not presenting themselves, because people are exalting themselves. They're acting out of the wrong spirit. But Ovana, your heart is pure. And God said, because of your purity, I'm going to show you my hand. I'm going to show you my glory. I'm going to show you my healing power. Let me mute myself.
I be so excited, because God is so amazing. We have to get into that place, and we really do have to understand, because Shamika is on the other side, and she's saying, as you were going forth, as you began to prophesy, Shamika said, "Oh Lord, she's talking to me." So gracefully, I'm grateful, because I understand what the anointing looks like, but I also know what it smells like. And I know when it's authentic, and I know where it's reaching to. So it's going to go into the deepest places, and it's going to stir some things up from the pit. So we are here to go into the pit of your belly. We are here to uproot some things. We are here to go and get the canker sores out of you. We are here to go down and get the plagues. We are here to fight for you. We are here to let you know that there's nothing that you have not been through, or that you have been through, that somebody that you see right here has not already been through it. So I just want to continue to encourage. I want to continue. Please share. Please share. I can't stress it enough, because even if there wasn't a word for you, there's a word for your aunt. That same aunt that been sitting on that couch, very slim, that same aunt with that yellow tan shirt on with them pants that be sitting there, that same aunt with that tray that she can't move. That same aunt with that black hair, that same aunt that got the ponytail. God is calling out for her. You got to go forth and show exactly what God is doing right now in this season. You need to show them what God is doing, because it's imperative that we begin to get into a place where we begin to understand that it's God. It is not me. It is not me. And God has put people in my life. I can't stress it enough. I love my family, but you have to understand that the people in your family, you do have to learn how to disconnect. But I'm gonna tell you, they get on my nerves, and I get on their nerves. But it's just the three, and you have to understand the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Let me tell you why, because one is a comforter, right? One to go through with me. The other two, they'll be like, you're wrong. You're out of pocket. There's no way that you could have done that. You need to stop that. Let me tell you something. It took a long time for me to understand that God called me to them and called them to me, because yeah, they're my family, but I love them. Like, they are so connected to me. I need y'all to get into a place that y'all are so connected to somebody that you know that God called them people to you, that they did not come just because they were birthed into the same family. I need you to understand that there's a design. There's something brand new that God is about to do in this season. And those people that have been connected to me, everything that you have decreed and declared, every house that you are trying to purchase, every business that you are about to start, every book that you've been writing, every book that you've put down, it is time to collectively put all of those books from even back when you were 17 and 18 years old. You need to go back in those books and pull those books together, because now it's time not to just be a sarcastic poet. Now it's time to let them know that your design is what implemented your healthiness. It helped you to get through. And only if they can see what the transition is for you, you have to understand that I know, but I need the world to see, because people like you are a dime a dozen, and people like you don't get the credit that they deserve. You have put me in a place to understand that I'm good. You have put me in a place that I understand that I am loved, and it could be nothing that I can do to you the way you love on my own son. Oh, these three, y'all love on my own son. He is not your kid, but y'all love on him as if he was. Y'all need to be seen. Y'all need to be heard. This is the season of boom, because you have to understand, when God does boom, that means that your friends that he connected to you, they're going to do boom. And don't think they're trying to copy, but you have to be a trailblazer, because without you, they won't know what healthy looks like. So this is your opportunity. This is your showtime. I'm not at the Apollo. Get up, begin to perform and do what it is that you need to do. It is strategic, right? So we have to also understand that we have to go forth and we have to speak those things as if they're not, as if they were. So I just want to also say, Shamika was like, please read. I know you don't. I know you don't, cousin. Shamika was like, please just read my comments. I'm going to read her comment as well. She said, I checked myself and I realized that the places I thought were safe weren't. And now I'm in such a better revealing place. Relieving, sorry. She's in such a better relieving place. I know we're going to get off of here. And I just want us to understand, who's that word for?
Oh, Shamika. I know when I was praying, I seen a baby, and I'm just praying that, and I'm agreeing with her, because if she wants to have a baby, I'm praying that God will work on her behalf. I am. And before you close off, can I say something, Ovana? I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, and I just want to encourage you to keep going forward. This is it's such a blessing to be part of something in its baby stages. So when you're on TV and you're forward and God's doing something, I can say I was on her second show, sis. Oh yeah, but I just want to encourage you and say thank you for being a friend, and thank you for allowing me to step onto your platform and just connect with you. I appreciate that, and you too, Ashley. Thank you, because you wanted a co-host, so thank you for allowing me to be a guest.
It's an honor.
I just want to say that we have to understand that so we definitely she is one of my outside connections. So I literally had to go outside and get that connection, right?
Hide the comment so I can see the baby. Hide this comment. Get it out the way so I can see the baby.
What comment? Oh, sorry, sir. Oh,
Oh,
hold on. Oh wait, I forgot how Shaquan's comment.
they don't let me do nothing too long without them.
Barely, that's barely. So we want to be really good at the fact that I'm not going to tell you something that I have not yet done. And this is something that I really have done. I have found outside connections. I keep the connections that God brought to me, that he birthed me in, because that's what's keeping me grounded, right? And then he brought me my outside connections so that I would know what it looks like to be on the outside as well, because my cousin can't push me but so far, right? Until I be like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, right? That's why I didn't even tell her about the show, because immediately she'll be like, do it. And I'm like, then I'll be like, nah, if I do it, then, but I didn't. But then I'm grateful for her, right? I'm grateful for Shamika. I'm grateful for Ashley. I'm grateful for each and every viewer that will get on here, that will watch later on the replay. I just want y'all to know this has been extremely great. I love you all. Y'all are super dope. Y'all are super amazing. If there is a word that you have for someone and you want to come on the screen and give them a word, just always send me a message to let me know. I will let you know how you can contact them. I do want to go ahead and say thank you again. I'm really excited for next week, Monday. I really am, because I'm gonna be by myself. I think no, Ashley will be here, and Ashley and Shamika will be here next week, and we'll definitely be talking about that same thing. What do we want in the community of women? So we need to get into a place where we understand that what do we want in a community of women, so that we can start growing those things, so that we can start building those things. I'm not in the business of talking about it. I'm not in the business of talking about we need to bridge the gap. No, I'm in the business of I'm building bridges, because I need to walk over the gap, because what I don't want to ever forget is what the gap looked like. Because if you close the gap, you can't remember where you came from. But if you build a bridge over it, you can walk over it, and you don't have to go back if you don't want to. But you're going to always remember, how did I get here? I had to get pushed. It was time for me to get delivered. It was time for me to have a baby. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm grateful for you all believing in this show. I'm grateful for you praying for me. I'm grateful for you selecting me to watch. But anyway, I love you guys. Y'all keep my comment section popping. I'm out here every day. You know what I'm saying? Holla at the kid. Nah, but no, for real. I'm going to get off now. And also, I want y'all to understand that if you got a business and you would like to let us know about it, let us know. If you sell jewelry and you want us to talk about it on our page, because this comes from Bling Bling, and these earrings come from Bling Bling. These shirts come from Lachelle. If there's anything that you know how to do, and if you on what is the thing called that my cousin do? You can go up there too, because she be selling things too on eBay. So you can see her on eBay. Go purchase her stuff as well. Make sure you all are out here and whatever you got to do. Yes, I do have a podcast. It's called The Prophetic Bible Study. You can go ahead and see that in my bio as well. Evelyn, do you have any last words for us before you go?
Oh, no last words. Again, if you want to connect with me, my name on Facebook is Evelyn Stanley. That's the only platform I use. If you want to talk about, getting healing, I do mentorship, anything like that. Connect with me. That's all I have to say.
Anything you need to say, Ashley?
Choose happy. Choose happy. Don't choose comfort. Choose happy.
Well, you heard what she said, ladies. Choose happy. Don't choose comfortable. Find your safe place. Know that it's a safe place, and learn how to be a safe place for yourself and for other people. Have a great night. I love you, and so does God.
Good
Goodbye.
night.
Okay.